If you are creating designs that look like this right now in preparation for Q4, stop. Stop it right now. We are not creating designs that look like this and expecting them to sell this holiday season. Instead, I'm going to show you what you should be doing with your seasonal designs to actually see sales and see growth in your print-on-demand business throughout Q4. Designs that look like this typically don't sell well because they're just too generic, too broad, and they don't really target any type of emotional connection to a potential customer. Instead, what I recommend is combining your seasonal designs with something that is more evergreen. Let me show you exactly what I mean. This is a perfect example of taking a seasonal event, in this case Christmas, and combining it with something that is more evergreen, the real estate niche, the professions niche even. This is a design that is going to connect more with a potential customer because it is something that's a lot more personal to them. Just analyzing this listing, of course, this is a listing that is not necessarily going to see huge spikes right now because as I'm filming this, it's August and most people aren't buying Christmas stuff quite yet. However, it is starting to pick up a little bit of momentum. Its estimated monthly sales right now are sitting at 20, which is still an estimate of a little over $1,000 in revenue. So this listing is already bringing them in some profit. And we can see that in total, this listing has had 239 estimated sales. We as print-on-demand sellers doing research can take this information though and know that usually past trends, past behavior is often going to be repeated. This can give us some great insight as to what we might want to take away to create our own unique designs this Q4 season. Here's another listing that we can see is already in 5 carts. Again, it's August, and so there's already people looking for these types of products. They have taken the Gigi niche, grandma niche, if you will, and combined that with Christmas. Again, creating some type of emotional connection that's going to make a customer more interested in the product that they're selling. Analyzing this listing, we can see it already has some estimated monthly sales, about $18, almost $300 in monthly revenue currently, but this is a listing that has seen over 200 sales in its lifetime. It is a listing that's only 10 months old, so we can make an educated guess that this listing saw a majority of these sales during the season last year. And here is one more example of a listing that is combining the Christmas holiday with the cowboy aesthetic, I guess you could call it. That is something that has been trending in tons of different niches, cowboy, cowgirl type fonts and graphics and elements. I think this is a really cute design and it's already gaining popularity. It has over 20 views in the last 24 hours. And analyzing the listing, we can see that this listing popped off last Q4. It already is seeing an estimated monthly sales of about 226, nearly $6,000 in estimated monthly revenue. And in its lifetime, which it's only been listed on Etsy for 10 months, it has had over 2,000 sales in that time frame. I have been using Everbee to scrape and pull all of this data as I've been analyzing these listings. If you are interested in trying Everbee, it is a free Chrome extension. I will put a link in the description box down below. The reason that these are all such great examples of seasonal listings for the Christmas season is because they are not just the generic broad designs that I showed in the beginning of this video. Each of these designs have some type of component that is going to relate to a specific type of customer, whether it's relating to their profession, it's relating to who they are, or it's relating to a vibe or an aesthetic that that individual is interested in. So now if you are wondering, well, Taylor, yeah, those look great. I see it. I understand why those are so great, but how do I do it myself? Well, my friend, I have the perfect resource for you. I recently just launched a free challenge for the month of August for all print-on-demand sellers. And in that challenge, I created the niche building guide. This is a free resource as part of the challenge that you are going to follow my exact 4-step process and framework that I've used time and time again in my print-on-demand business to create a never-ending list of niches that are proven to sell and proven to have search volume and demand for. I launched the challenge over on Instagram, so if you do not already follow me on Instagram, go ahead and go follow me on Instagram. I'm going to be posting on my stories just some extra tips and things for you throughout the next 30 days to help you out in the challenge. Also, just want to throw in a shameless little plug for the POD Connection. If you are not familiar, the POD Connection is my mentorship group. It is a paid community where we are able to work together one-on-one to grow and scale your print-on-demand business. If you're participating in the challenge, or even if you're not participating in the challenge and you're just looking for some personalized feedback for growing and scaling your print-on-demand business, then be sure to check that out as well. Without further ado, for today's video, we are going to be creating a seasonal design for a niche that I actually found through completing the steps in the niche building guide. If you are new to my channel, hello, my name is Taylor. I am a print-on-demand entrepreneur. Just this year, I've sold over $75,000 on Etsy using a print-on-demand business model and have been able to scale my business to multi-six figures in the last year and a half. If you like videos talking about print-on-demand, passive income, and entrepreneurship, then be sure to boop the subscribe button down below so that you can stick around for future videos. Step number one in the niche building guide is to brainstorm a list of people that are close to you. On my list, one of the people that I put is my husband. And step two is to brainstorm all of the hobbies and interests for all of the people on your list. So for my husband, one of the interests and hobbies that I put for him is golf. In step three, the goal is to research that niche. The whole purpose is we have an ideal customer, husbands, men, and then we also have a interest, golf. The goal is to research and to see, is that something that's in demand that people are looking for? Are they looking for maybe husband gifts, gifts for husbands who golf items in general? Can we make that more specific, and can we find that there's proven search volume for it so we know that we're going to be creating something that is being looked for? If we create something that is not being searched for, it doesn't have any demand for it, then with the way that Etsy works, we're not necessarily going to see any sales for it. Etsy is a search engine, and without search volume, we are not going to get visibility on anything that we create. So this step is very important. In the niche building guide, I found several keywords that were pretty promising as far as search volume and competition goes. So I found that this is a niche that is proven to be in demand. Now in the guide, I just created a more evergreen type design for the niche that looked like this. And now I want to use this research and all of this data that I already have found, and let's make it more seasonal. Something that I've really enjoyed doing recently is creating a vision board as I'm getting ready to design. I did the research in the beginning of this video, and as I'm doing that research, what I'm doing behind the scenes is taking a screenshot of the listings, and I pull it into Kittl here on an artboard so that I'm able to look at all of the different listings that I found during that research process and use that as inspo as I'm creating my very own listing. It's fine that these listings aren't related to the niche that I'm designing for, which is golf. It's actually better, in my opinion, to find inspiration and listings to pull inspiration from in completely different niches. Oftentimes that is where you're going to be able to identify where there might be different gaps in a market, and finding those gaps is going to allow you to kind of squeeze your way in and see a lot more success because you're tapping into something that nobody else has quite yet. These are all design styles that we can pull inspiration from, knowing that there is some data behind them. There's some validation that people are interested in these design styles. Of course, they're interested in these niches as well, but we can take inspiration from the design style, pull it into a different niche, and we have a little bit more of an educated guess as to what is going to also work in a new niche. I've already done the research, and I know that there are keywords and demand for the golf niche. And with these design styles, I know that people are interested in them because they have proven sales history. So what I'm gonna do is make a baby out of them both. I'm going to take the keywords and golf niche and combine it with one of these design styles to create something that is going to be set up for success and hopefully sales this Q4 season. One of my favorite things about using Kittl is they already have pre-made design templates. That has been my best friend, and it will probably be your best friend as well if you are somebody who feels like you struggle with designing. You open up a blank canvas and you just stare at it without doing anything. Please comment down below if you have experienced that. The like doom stare of just not knowing what to do and where to start. But I found that these templates really help to prevent that, because you start with a little bit of structure, a little bit of a foundation that you can then just build upon. One of the things that I found last year during the holiday season that I really liked in these templates are they have tons of templates for the ugly Christmas sweater type design. And I think I'm gonna use one of these templates to create our design today. After scrolling through, I think I like this template the most. So what I'm gonna do is actually copy this and go back to our original template, and then let's paste it. Perfect. And let's go ahead and we're gonna just make this bigger. What I am going to do with this design. In the niche building guide, I created this design here, just like a more evergreen type of design that could be repeatedly sold in the golf niche. I think I'm going to repurpose this phrase and just make a ugly Christmas sweater version of it. I have personally found that any type of phrases or quotes, whatever you are putting on a product, the more raunchy, more witty phrases tend to do best. And so that's kind of what I was going for with this design here. The whole golf takes balls. It's a play on words, of course. So I think I'm gonna recreate that here. I love this font. It is the Merry Knitting 02 font in Kittl, and it gives the ugly Christmas sweater aesthetic. So if you're creating any type of ugly Christmas sweater designs, that is the font that you definitely want to be using. But I'm gonna just write golf takes balls. And then we are going to play around with the layout of the design to make it fit for our ugly Christmas sweater. This is coming together. I think it just needs a little bit more dimension with this type of design style. I don't think we need to have a ton of colors or anything crazy going on, but with the little snowflakes that I've added in, I think I'm going to just mix up some of the colors of them. I think that'll just give a little bit of a better look. All right, I am happy with this. I know that when you see the process and you see the time lapse of going through and creating the design, there's a lot of adding things, taking things away, rearranging, and then going back and doing all of that. I want to include and show all of that in my design process because that is normal. It is not normal to immediately just go right to the drawing board, create something start to finish, and have it just go seamlessly. At least for me, I don't think that that's realistic. So So if you are playing around with your designs and they take time to create, that is normal. That is totally part of the process. I used the AI inside of Kittl, and I specifically did the vintage drawing vector style. The prompt that I used was Christmas style golf balls, and this was not the first thing that came up. Sometimes you do have to play around with it a little bit, adjust your prompt, and then also just regenerate some different ideas. When I first was doing this, I typed in ugly Christmas sweater style, and it was giving me graphics of like an actual ugly Christmas sweater, and I liked some of the elements inside of the graphic, but I wanted them alone. So sometimes just rephrasing, you'll end up getting what you're looking for. But what's great about this is a graphic that's completely unique to my design that I've created here. So let's go ahead and just put it on a mock-up. Sometimes I feel like it's better to get the full perspective of a design when you put it on a mock-up. So I'm gonna do that just right here. I think that this design looks amazing. I'm really happy with how it turned out. If you are also interested in trying Kittl, I do have a discount code in the description. It is Taylor, PODYT. Use that link, use that code, and you will save a little bit of money if you do try Kittl yourself. If you're interested in trying the Q4 launch challenge, be sure to grab that link in the description. That is, again, a free challenge. You are able to get the niche building resource inside of that challenge. I hope to see you in there. Let me know if you found this video helpful in creating seasonal designs that are going to sell this Q4 season. And as always, I hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.